This is a video I'm making of an outdoor weatherproof 8-port Cat 5 distro. I like using these Apache cases from Harbor Freight. They're cheap and they work pretty well. I used to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol and sprayed it on the stickers to get these stickers off of there to make the box look a little bit better. I've got a couple 3D printers I've got running all the time, and so I just 3D printed a template for this. So all my holes are evenly spaced here. So I'm going to make 8 Cat 5 holes and 1 PG7 hole for the power. I'm using a simple punch that I also got from Harbor Freight to line up my pilot holes there. These Cat 5 pass-throughs, they require a 7/8 inch hole, and so I'm using a 7/8 inch step bit to make these holes. And the last hole is going to require a 1/2 inch hole, so I use a 1/2 inch step bit. That's for the PG7 that's going to go in there. So now I take my PG7 gland, I'm going to go ahead and thread it through this 1/2 inch hole that I made. And now here's the Cat 5 pass-throughs. It's an RJ45 8P. And it's by V Best Life. I got this off of AliExpress. I like to get them lined up all perfectly so that when you go to seat your Cat 5s, they all seat the same way. It goes on just like a PG7. It has a collar that screws on through the back there. And the rubber washer that it has on there is going to keep it from getting moisture inside the box there. Now the other one is a BP connector and housing. So this is going to be on your cable side. So when you go to make your cables, you're going to want to go ahead and slide these on before you terminate your Cat 5s, or else you're not going to be able to get them on. So they come with a collar and an end. And you see it also has this plug in there. So if you have any open ends, you can use these just to simply plug those Cat 5 ends on your box there. So I went ahead and take off. Here's a Cat 5 that I made that doesn't have an end on it. I'm going to go ahead and slide down the housing on there, and you can see how it slips right around that Cat 5 there. Go ahead and slide on the back collar, and what that is, that's the strain relief. Once when you tighten that down, it tightens around the cable and that housing won't move. So in my right hand here, I have what's connected to the box, and my left hand is the housing. You see how the housing screws on right to the pass-through, and then I tighten on the strain relief, and now that cable's not going anywhere, so it's going to hold your plug and your Cat 5 in place. So here's an example with it on the box here. I'm going to go ahead and take off this lower left one. Go ahead and take my Cat 5 and I'll plug my Cat 5 in. Then I'm going to slide the collar up. Go ahead and screw the collar down onto the connector, onto the pass-through. And that's how it looks when it's attached to the box there. Here I'm going to go ahead and run my power cable through the PG7 Gland. It's just a simple 3-conductor power cable. I usually get these IEC cables at work, and we have hundreds of them, so I just cut the end off and use the Edison on one side and the bare wire on the other one. I'm going to go ahead and put on an Edison cable on the other side, an Edison connector. You can get these at Home Depot or Amazon or any other box stores. I always check my power before I go on to make sure I'm actually getting power and it's not wired up backwards. So here's my two Cat 5 switches. My two switches, they're the TP-Link TLSG 105s. So there's 5 ports on these. And the reason I got the 5 ports is because you got to jump them together so they can act as an 8-port. I would have got it in an 8-port, but it didn't fit in the box, and I didn't want to go with the bigger box. So just 2 5-ports. Jump together, jump the power together, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them inside the box now. And there you go. There's our 2 Cat 5 ports that are in there, all nice and neat into an Apache case. There's our 8 ports on the outside that are tied in there.